So we're on to the third and final video now. This is pretty much just me trying to complete the game, so there's very little talk about other discussions and just basically me trying to get through this one in one piece. And then I go back through some of the extra areas in the game, some of the hidden things and stuff that I kind of maybe missed on the first video, and then we kind of just wrap up. So I hope you enjoy this last part. So yeah, it isn't actually a professor you actually find in the end, it's actually like one of his weird inventions, but obviously he taunts you all the way through the level, so you can't really avoid running into him, but he isn't the final boss. So we're on our way through Andy Asteroids, which is a reference to one of the developers. If you're interested, one of the people that worked on the game. So I'm just gonna fail at this. Obviously you're meant to be travelling down this tunnel, I think at a light speed. I think they obviously enjoyed Star Trek because there's obviously reference to this in travelling at a warp speed or whatever. There were quite a few puns on it and jokes about it. If you play the PC version, one of the cheats is type in "get cheese to sick bay," which is a reference to Star Trek. I mean, I like Star Trek. In fact, I mostly watched like the Next Generation. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't actually watch much of the original Star Trek. I'm not a big, huge fan, I'd say, but I'm quite geeky about it. I could tell you maybe some of the info on the ships or some of the episodes, but maybe some details. But you know, I stop at learning Klingon or whatever like that. I don't think I'd dress up like a character in Star Trek. So yeah, this is the level, I guess. This is for Pete's sake, and basically this little dog that you walk, as you've just seen, he has an alter ego like the Incredible Hulk, and if he gets damaged then he will come and damage you. But yeah, basically you're dog walking in this level. Tell me what other game has dog walking in. Not even COD Bomb Dogs has dog walking in. Right? Let's go. Oh no, so I've got to try and whip him past it. And also, the worst thing is that these things in the level still do you damage. So, yeah, oh, and there's meteor storms as well. You have to keep him down, blast the bigger rocks, and they hurt you, and also if he gets hit by them, yeah, again, he transforms, he goes nuts, and comes after you. So I'm taking a bit of damage here, but I'm keeping him down. Oh, it's slowing down. And again, yeah, they must have spent some time developing the gameplay sections in this, you know, where interesting things happen like that, you know, meteor shells coming from the sky and stuff like that. And having this whole little AI system, I guess he is just like on a path, but the fact that he then gets angry, comes and attacks you, it's all like kind of clever stuff at the time. There's some more clever stuff in Earthworm Jim 2 which might play out at some point, where you can actually shoot bits of soil and it actually deforms. I don't think I've seen that in a 2D game. We get it like now and again at 3D ones. Oh no, you know, where you get deformation in the landscape. For a 2D game, that's kind of quite a technical achievement. So yeah, I'm just going to keep walking the dog basically. Oh, get past. Oh, what am I going quickly? Shoot the thing. This is another one where you have your wits about you a little bit. There is actually like 2 routes in this, but I'm probably... I'm definitely going to cheat and... Well, not cheat. Oh, look how far it takes you back sometimes. I'm probably going to avoid going the long way, the hard route, because it doesn't gain you anything in the game. It's nice if you want to complete completionist type thing, like I used to do, to try to do it, but it is very hard, and it doesn't necessarily double the level, but it expands the level past the point where it feels fun anymore. So I'm gonna just not go that way. You actually have to purposely pick it anyway. Oh no! Oh no! So I get knocked back and he gets to wander on. That is not ideal. That is not what I wanted. Oh, it's actually moved on. Oh, you must have got past the continuation point, but I didn't. Yeah, these things are annoying as well. They hit you off the side. You have to kind of... I think you can destroy them, but it's best to just jump over them. I don't even know what they're meant to be, actually. I think they're meant to be, like, concrete cement mixers, but they've got some sort of creature inside them. Very bizarre. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of reference to sort of junk or engineered type things in this game, because obviously you got New York City at the beginning, you've got level 5 which has got sort of industrial sci-fi type stuff in it. This stuff's got quite a lot of sort of junk or mechanical stuff in. I don't know if there's a particular reason now that the UFO's got me. Ah, that UFO is just annoying as well. Oh, great. Thanks, UFO. I think UFOs have been big for some time, but they're exceptionally big in like the 70s and 80s. But there were like a load of 80s and 90s films that had UFOs in, so again, X-Files was out at this time as well, so it could have been a reference to that, I guess. Not that I'm saying it is, I just think that, you know, they definitely borrowed from the ideas of the time, and that's maybe why they're in there. I think there's less UFO conspiracy theorists now. Oh no. At least that one getting destroyed means it's out of the way, so that would have been quite harsh to get past anyway. Yeah, sometimes it is actually worth taking a hit, because if he morphs in one of these tentacles, he tends to destroy it. In fact, he always destroys it. So, even though it is best to try and get him through it completely, if you know that you're going to get stuck by something, or slowed down, or it is going to be a bit difficult to get to the platform in time, just take the hit. I mean, I've got 100% health there now after picking up that energy pod. Energy orb, I believe they were called. Oh, I've got to be quick here. Yep, I've got that one. And another one. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, see, I should have let him take that one out, because that would make things easier. Maybe I'll do it this time. UFOs. Bane of my existence. So whip him over this one. Whip him into that one. Let him destroy it. Doesn't like me, does it? Peter Puppy, which is the name of this dog, she becomes like his sidekick in the cartoon series. I guess because he's a dog. Oh no, that wasn't very good. It makes sense that Dog would be a man, worm as a best friend. I can't see why they made him a psychic. They've got a lot to work with there. Obviously got issues or problems. Oh no, I got, but hopefully Peter's going to go on in a continuation point for me. Oh, no. Okay, he's been dragged away, that's okay for now. I can just get away from this sodding UFO, right. I'm across. I think there might be a meteor storm right now, so remember. Oh, maybe it's only if you go to advanced. Okay, so yeah, I could whip him then and he'll go above his house and on to the advanced section, but I've just gone, nah, because that extends it. I used to annoy my parents doing that. My mum especially. I used to just have like kitchen slash dining area, and there was a TV in there that I had my console on. So yeah, I would annoy her by just doing that. I don't think she understood what was going on. What a terrible kid I was. What a burden on my poor mother. Or something. That's what kids do, right? Just burden their parents, eat them out of house and home, then leave and get a job in the games industry. Oh, get out of the way. I've not time for you. Ah. Oh, what did I do that for? I ran straight into it. I was trying to get Cycro. At least I'll get another shot at beating him. Small comfort, really. I don't know why Cycro suits yellow. It's kind of interesting though. Ah, he stole that little boost thing. Well, that was unfortunate, wasn't it? I could have used that if he hadn't nicked it. Now he's miles off ahead. What do you mean they're going to have to fight him? I believe this is going to be the last level after I've beaten him though. Oh, you just stole the next one as well. Smart ass AI, that's all I need. Oh, that warp gets me every time. I think it used to get me when I was younger as well. It's just the flickering. Really does my eyes in. Yeah, so I actually kind of... I now got to be Cycro. Okay. I actually lived on like a small holding, which is basically a small farm, basically, and run usually to not seriously make money, but just as like personal investment. My parents did. My dad actually did have like a full-time job, but I would basically sit next to a window in the sort of kitchen diner, as I said, playing my games. Next to an Arga. In fact, I opened up the games case the other day, but seemingly it rusted a bit because I had trouble actually getting into it. Please off not. I don't barely open it ever. You know, this is a good opportunity to replay some of these consoles that have been lying around for ages, to be honest. Because I probably wouldn't play them otherwise. I'd play like newer games, especially now. I'm inundated with, you know, different consoles with modern graphics, etc. Right, okay, here's the almost last level. In fact, this is the last level, but there is a wolf in it. And yeah, I used to sit near this Arga, and the games actually still smell a bit of the soot from the Arga chimney. It was a bit weird. It smelled like home in a weird sort of way. A home that I hadn't been at for. Actually, they did still live there until about 3 years ago when they moved up to Scotland. But it was weird to smell that old sooty smell, especially as I think they actually changed the oil at one point when I moved out. So actually, that hadn't, you know, that smell was there from pretty much 15 years or something. It's weird. How does stuff like that happen, you know? Or I think I might have come the wrong way. This might be alright if I can. Yes, there we are. Oh, I've made it. And now I've got hardly any health. Right. Oh, well, it's okay. I'm there. I can afford to die. I've got some extra continue points, right? So yeah, this is the last level. This is and this is like very much influenced by Aliens, as you can tell, the sort of artwork of the level. Not so much the lighting. I guess they just added that to make it more moody and dramatic, but when you get to the last boss, which is apparently the twin sister of the princess that you've been after this whole game, for some reason, even though she's a twin, she is actually completely different. She is basically the queen from Aliens, so really kind of disgusting, with a big butt. Her name is Queen Slug for a Butt, and that's exactly what she is. So we should be nearing the end of this video. So hopefully I've kind of gone through a bit of my personal background and history and all that jazz. Gives you a bit of an idea around me. I've also talked a bit about the developers, and hopefully have learned something about that. Now Shiny there, I mean, again, they're a company that aren't around anymore, but I think they were very influential. They made games like MDK, which pretty much had the first kind of sniper scope in, and it was like one of the first early properly based 3D adventure games, but actually it's not truly a 3D adventure game, because what they did was they had 3D levels with a 2D sprite that they used to render the character. So the character actually is like a billboard sprite that can move in various directions, and as the camera tilts, they basically render it from different directions to make it look like it's 3D. It's very kind of clever, but completely useless for like modern games, where you can actually just render like full characters and they look reasonably realistic. But for them it was a side, well, how do you get like a realistic character out of a few polys? Well, you don't, you cheat. And that is kind of one of the big things that I like about the old games, and kind of what we don't get now is like optimization and improvisation is something that these developers have to rely on. And newer games, they don't have to, they don't bother, and it would be nice if some of these values could be recaptured. Maybe not necessarily the same way, but it would be nice if there was some more impressive optimizations or development where they don't necessarily have to do stuff a particular way, but it would help improve the game quality instead of just relying on like throwing more polys and textures and bump mapping and normal mapping and all that jazz that you can get from great GPUs that hardware manufacturers make. Oh, I fucked up completely there. After doing that for ages, I still messed it up. This might take me longer than I thought. So yeah, they made MDK, they did Wild 9s after that, I think, on the PlayStation 1. They also created Messiah, which is another adventure game which actually did have full 3D in it. It was on the PC. It was basically this cherub that you could possess different people with, and then use their bodies to like infiltrate various different areas within a city. It was actually quite interesting. They did like a strategy game called Sacrifice that's kind of like your command and conquer type strategy games, but it was also from a third person view, so that's a bit interesting. They did a vanity project which was I think it was called Stunt Copter RC, which was basically what the CEO wanted, Dave Perry wanted, like a... Oh, you see a cow then, that was the cow I launched at the beginning of the game. Yeah, we actually missed. Might have to go and re-show you that after we complete this. Yeah, basically Dave Perry wanted a helicopter flight sim game. He was big into his helicopters, and yeah, they basically made one. Oh, no, can I get this health? Good, I've got health. I should go down there and get that continue really as well. I think there's another wasp nest, so I call them wasp nests. There's like different little wasp type creatures that come out and hurt you, so yeah, let's get rid of them. Oh. I think because it's off camera it's harder to hit. But they actually made a couple of Matrix games as well. They made 2 other Matrix games for the films, and then shortly after that they, I think actually maybe even before that, they got sold to Interplay, and then they got sold to another developer. I forget the name of the developer actually, or for publisher should I say, and that was pretty much the end of them. They made the game for Sega, which was its Dark Materials game, but based on the book, sorry. What was it? Golden Compass, that was it. I mean, the film was kind of a bit of a flop anyway, but the game was equal. Oh god, I gotta move the... Now, yeah, these guys come out and chomp you, the little aliens with bow ties for some reason. It's great. Why? Why they got the bow ties on? I've never understood that. Concentrate on this. You're gonna have to bear with me. I mean, yeah, I mean, look how tough this game is. It's taking away 10 health per getting hit by one of those little bees. Those tiny little bees are taking 10 health hit units from my 100% health. And then you got worms. I mean, there's weird insects with the bow ties that chop me in half as well. And it's just like, well, yeah, this game is rock. This is on the normal difficulty. You wouldn't have something that tough now. Oh, come on, get in, get in. Oh, oh, you bugger! How am I meant to get past that? I must have done it in the past, but I have no idea. Oh, and I took, what, 40 health damage then from just falling down? I mean, seriously, guys. You can maybe hear the creakiness of my SNES pad as I'm doing this as well. Let's get moving. Oh, these things get everywhere. Go away. Oh, I'm running out of... Oh, now I've just got to suffer getting hit now because my blaster ran out of energy. I don't need the energy to do this, but oh, there's actually like some extra stuff down there. Doesn't really help me very much. Actually, what I could do, I just thought about this. I can whip them. Maybe that's where I've been going wrong for this entire frickin' section. And they don't actually come back, do they? I feel embarrassed by that now. Why was I trying to do it the hard way? I believe if I go to the end bit here, I can actually dangle back and go the other way. And I think I did open a secret, but... Again, I'm not gonna bother, because this game is hard. Why did I care so much? Oh no, what about him? Let's get rid of him. Hopefully, oh, there's one more on here, so let's just wait for him to do his little thing. Oh, what? I thought he was going to go away. Oh, and I saw another one there, so yeah, that might be fun. I'm meant to whip those as well. They're all saying I wasn't going to mess up. Yeah, I was going to mess up. Oh, no. Oh, this is frustrating as well. Sometimes you fall down on this bit and it spines you on spines. I can just walk right past him. Okay, now we've reached the butt of the queen. Fortunately, that is not the end of this tail. So yeah, this keeps on throwing stuff out at you, so you kind of gotta dodge it. I think the whip actually works the best on this, if I remember. And eventually, yeah, it starts having extra obstacles as well. So not just the slime that sometimes comes out. You've got to avoid, but these stepping stones have spikes on them. Nice, isn't it? This game is... Oh no. Oh, I just think I did it then as well. Oh. Right, I'm determined to get through this now. Absolutely determined. Kid me is probably having a laugh at older me trying to play this. But actually it was really kind of hard. I remember as a kid I just kept on playing it until I could actually get through it all, rather than absolutely perfecting it the first time I played it. I mean, that was kind of, you had like limited pocket money for like games and stuff, maybe more so than now. You know, games are expensive, a commodity, as I said. And as a kid I probably only got like a few quid a week and maybe like some money from other family members, my aunts and uncles, so I used to save it all up for these games. Why did I instantly get killed then? I didn't take any damage before that. That just took all my health off. So yeah, you would save up all your money. No. So yeah, I'd save up all my money that my aunt and uncle or whoever have given me, and so even sell like my old games. I know like pre-owned games is like big now, or the a lot of shops do it. Games stores like Game, who I have kind of a bit of a love-hate relationship with. But I guess they'd only just really started doing trade-ins at places like Game when I was a kid. So yeah, getting a game, you'd play the, love out of it because you had to. So anybody that says, oh, I don't like this game, I'm going to get rid of it. Well, if you made the wrong decision on the game back then, you were stuck with the game, even if you hated it. And there was less to pick from as well. There was certainly a lot less to choose from. Oh no! Oh, I've messed up. Right, okay. See that thing spinning around? You can stand on that. And I've got to get to the next one. This thing appears in the next game. Oh no, I fell off. Oh dear, I messed up. Yeah, that little snot green thing appears in the next game actually, which is snot using the backpack. I think there's quite a lot of muscle memory involved, and remembering the patterns. Once you've learned the patterns, you can probably get through this stuff a lot easier. Hit points on her. Okay, let's try again. Oh, no. Oh. It is actually easier to kind of just do a bit of damage control with the blaster and try to whip her. So, although I just fell off there, didn't I, like an idiot. Oh, can I whip her? Yeah, she'd take damage then, I think. There's no need to kind of... You don't use your blaster because there's just too many of these bees and you need to take them out. So I keep whipping her and just flying around her. And whipping her and flying around. Bees again. Oh my gosh, the bees are doing me so much damage. It's unreal. Maybe I could just use my blaster now, I guess. Because I've probably weakened her enough. Oh, come on. Got it. There we go. Finally, right, okay. It's been frustrating to do that bit. Okay, so we're going to get the big payoff now. I am the best. You know what, you're right. Because I've completed the game. There's very few games that tell you the best quickly, and really is that. There should be more. And I liked this as well. It's very Who Framed Roger Rabbit, this section. Also, for a game over screen, it's pretty funny, and also the fact that normally game over screens are just like game over in big letters, but they actually got something impressive and proper credits. And these are all the people that worked on the game. Sadly, some of them are no longer with us. Others have moved on to making other games for big companies. Some have given up altogether. Some are big CEOs now. I suppose it was designed by many shiny meetings. Big shiny widows with their wives. But yeah, basically, games probably back then probably were designed by more team meetings than a designer. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, designers help to hold your vision and make sure people are going in the right direction with stuff. What I did a lot was to talk to people about how things were progressing, bring them together a little bit more. This is a team photo at the end, so that just shows you how few people worked on this. Yeah, it swings and roundabouts really. I think you can probably design a game with no one having necessarily the design vision, but you do need somebody who, that's the end of the game, sort of forces people together, forces people to work together and has an idea of where the goal is. It's very important really. You can't really make a game without it. Now I'm just going to go back into New York City, but then probably switch around some level skips and stuff and show you some of the extra content in the game. Oh, one thing I was going to show you while I'm at the start of the game is just how you launch the cow, because I think I might have inadvertently passed it on the first section of the playthrough. So there's the fridge. Let's just jump down actually to show off the cow. So here's the cow, and yeah, at the start of the game you can launch it by whipping it. I just whipped it really too early and didn't even see it launch. There we go. So that's the one that lands at the end of the game, and you see in Buffalo really briefly. Get away, crow. I like the bits of feathers that fall down. I guess in a 3D game that would do more particle effects, but I think these are just like animated. There probably were like early particle effects, to be honest, because I think, you know, you jump on different tyres and I think it does randomly change per hit, doesn't it? They're not always the same necessarily. So it probably was like a semi particle effect type randomness to them. Right, I'm going to skip on to some other bits, back to level 5 and stuff, and show you some extra stuff. Now I believe there is a few missing things, well not necessarily missing, but they weren't in the original games and they're put in later. There's a section called Big Brutey, which is named after one of the other developers, which is this big monster that you have to kind of block in, try to get past basically. That was on the HD version, and it's on the PC version. I think it was originally in Can of Worms, which was like one of the many PC versions that got released. I think maybe it was on the not the Dreamcast, the Saturn as well. I think it was released on the Saturn as well and had that in. But yeah, I think there was also an extra section on the Mega Drive version maybe. But we're going to just jump around to see some of the other hidden bits and maybe talk a bit more, and then that'll be a wrap up on this. So it's all groovy. Here we go. So I'm back in an area from earlier in the game. This is level 5 again. I basically have just gone through the first section, and just as the professor has let a few of the experiments go for the first time, I think before any of the actual teleporting sections. So there are these red lights up here. So as you come over from, let's see if we can get back to show you So basically, the professor is letting little experiments out at this point from these things, and you kind of have to dodge them. And then there's a single whip over here that I keep missing at the moment. There we go. And then you get to these red lights. If you just jump up here, there was a secret teleporter. Ah, what's in here? Nothing good. So yeah, it's basically completely pitch black and the secret level, and you have to kind of stay in the light and blast these things, and you can't really see anything. All you can see are those eyes. You don't actually get to see the monsters that attack you, and you've got to kind of navigate by just kind of hook almost. You can see when he's sort of doing an animation like climbing, so you kind of know that that's a solid surface. Sometimes you can see the sparkly things from like the whip points, so you can work out that that's a whip point and you can whip to it. But basically, yeah, you're kind of a bit blind at this point. It's a shame they didn't do more of this, and it's a shame they didn't kind of make it into a full level, because obviously this is just completely secret. It seems completely wasteful as well. You wouldn't do this in a game now, would you? You wouldn't have a secret level that nobody knew about. Not without having some achievement thing to it or something. But that's what's kind of great about these old games. They can hide stuff in them and it's there for you to find, and there's no other reason but because you can. Oh no, there's one below me. Oh. Damage, and I think I'm okay. Phew. Completely pointless doing this, to be honest. It only gets you. Well, it doesn't really even get you any extra health, any extra life. But in general, it doesn't get you anything. You kind of just extending the game by playing this. Like I was saying with the Peak Puppy level, you know, going the advanced way is just extending the game really. There's no real reason behind it. I think that's it all over and done with, or is there one last? Oh no, there is one last level, I remember now. So you get all the way through it. Oh, you have to keep doing it, I think. How are you meant to know to do this, I don't know. There's actually another whip there, and that's it, I'm out. I believe this is the last area in a second. Oh no, no! We've got to go away from him. See, they damage you as soon as you walk on them, and it's really hard to get away from the eyes. Oh no, there's another one, another one. Oh, I died before I actually got there. Yeah, the interesting fact is the creator of Earthworm Jim actually does the voice for the video game anyway. There's all sorts of slimy sections here. Oh, here we go. So basically all you got to do here is run and run. You can't fight it. I know it actually took a bit of damage because I wasn't quick enough to get away. Oh, I think actually there's a point where you're meant to jump back the other way. Let's try that again. Oh no, it's going to make me go through the level again. Maybe not, actually, because it's like a secret level and it's split into like 5 different unique sections. It probably won't make me do it all. I think that's the point I need to remember to jump. Oh. So didn't even get that far. Okay. Oh. That was it for these little eyes. Let's take it slower. I know, here we go. I think I did the wrong point again. But yeah, you can jump over here and escape in the end. Right, I'm probably not going to do any more there. I might go through a couple of the cheats, but I'm kind of wrapping it up there. Hope you kind of enjoyed this look into my past and look into a really cool little game that's still really fun now. I hope you enjoy this little journey with me. I'm going to do some more games in the future. Hopefully I'm going to stick with some older games to begin with, but I want to go and look at more modern games as well. This is just, I'm still getting used to the format, so I might actually change how I do these eventually. I might do more sort of gameplay only videos, or have the audio separate about talking about the game separate, because it is actually kind of hard work to do both and kind of tiring, and trying to get through it all and make it sound interesting can be tough. So I hope that it hasn't been too boring, and I hope my format gets better, but I'm still experimenting. So the first two parts of this video were a bit more personalised, and then I just kind of rushed through the last sort of section to get to the extra gameplay and of course the end of the game. Now I hope to do a few more videos. I'm probably going to make some of them a bit shorter now, and we'll try and cover the same sort of stuff, but obviously I kind of wanted to make this one especially long, and the first one I wasn't really sure what I was doing, so that ended up longer than I anticipated. But we might go back through some of these games anyway again, especially as there's a HD remake of some of these now. So I hope you enjoyed it, and get ready for the next load of videos.